All right, guys, what's going on? So today we're going to be talking about air assault school. I actually am a graduate of air assault school. I graduated, it actually wasn't too long ago, believe it or not. It was back in 2017 in March, so only a few years. I know there's a glare there. There we go. Your boy's like right here, out in the back. And I had a really good time at air assault school. Got the Tomahawk Award. That goes to the fastest ruck marcher during the final 12-mile ruck march. I think I finished it in like an hour and 40 something minutes, so pretty quick. That was a pretty quick ruck march for me. But anyway, we're going to be talking about air assault school. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what the school is, what you can expect during the school, and then throw in some tips here and there to help you with your journey to success and help you earn your air assault badge. All right, so before we get started, make sure you like and hit that subscribe button for me so that other people can see this video as well. This is going to be some good information and I don't want anybody getting left out. According to the Air Assault School website, let's read this real quick. The purpose of air assault is to train soldiers in air assault operations, sling-load operations, and rappelling. Upon graduation of the course, each soldier will be able to perform skills required to make maximum use of helicopter assets in training and in combat to support their unit operations. Okay, I think that's pretty accurate. It's a pretty good course description. Now let's get down to what air assault school really is. The first thing that's going to happen when you get to school is going to be 0 day. During that day, you'll start your in-processing. You'll immediately begin getting smoked right after you hand in your paperwork for a good hour, maybe 2 hours. Now, don't be too stressed out about the smoking sessions. If you're in any sort of good physical shape, it shouldn't be too bad on you. Expect a lot of overhead arm claps. Expect a lot of push-ups, a lot of air squats, maybe some burpees, definitely some flutter kicks, you know, classic Army smoke sessions. That kind of thing. You'll do that for a good couple hours, maybe a few hours. Then they'll grab you up as a group once they're done in processing everybody, and they'll run you over to the obstacle course. Now, the obstacle course, if you get a chance to run through the Air Assault Standard obstacle course wherever you are, definitely try to get on that and do some practice runs. The obstacles aren't impossible, but there's a couple of them that you definitely want to get some hands-on practice on before you end up, day 0 at air assault school and don't really know what you're doing. Especially the tough one obstacle. That one gets a lot of people because of the initial 15-foot rope climb that you have to do. You got to make sure you can climb a rope before you go to air assault school. You don't really do a lot of rope climbing, but day 1 you're already kind of tired because they've been smoking you for the prior 2 hours. And then you get to the obstacle course, you're running through obstacles, and depending on your position in line, by the time you get to the tough one, you got to climb 15-foot rope. Well, that gets a lot of people. I want to say like 5 to 10% of day 1 dropouts is all from that one obstacle. They can't climb a rope. So make sure you can climb a rope. As soon as you're done with the obstacle course, they'll run you guys over and do an APFT or an ACFT, whatever the flavor is of the day for the Army at that time. And keep in mind with that, you only have to complete the PT test to standard, to Army standard, but you got to remember you've been smoked for the last couple hours, you just ran through the obstacle course, you're going to be a little more tired than you normally would be when you take an APFT or an ACFT back at your unit. Just a side note, if you're looking for a good train-up program, a good physical fitness program to get you ready for air assault school, Gritty Soldier does offer an awesome physical train-up program at the website, so go ahead and go check that out. I'll drop a link in the description. So once you're done with all the physical events, they'll bring you back to the schoolhouse and they'll start teaching you air assault operations. That's when they'll give you your study guide, which is full of blank spaces where you're going to be writing in your notes. They'll put you in a big room and they'll turn on the heat and make it difficult for you to stay up. So you've been getting smoked all day. Now they're trying to make it so that you're sleepy while you're studying, and they try to put these harsh conditions on you. So just use the study guide, use those fill in the blank spaces that they give you so that when you go home, you can keep studying the material and make sure that you're good to go when it comes down to the test in the next couple days. You'll get 2 tests. You'll get a test after the first couple days, and then you'll get another test a few days later, something like that. I think the completion of phase 1 is the 6-mile road march, okay? The 6-mile road march you'll have to do within an hour and a half. It will be an air assault standard 35-pound ruck. Sometimes they do a kit and a helmet, sometimes they don't, depending on the weather. And you have to do it within standard. When you get back, they're going to immediately test you on the air assault layout. Now that layout is very serious, okay? This is also a point where a lot of people get dropped, okay, because they didn't take the packing list seriously. If you're missing any items whatsoever on that packing list, there's a good chance you're going to get dropped. You also have to lay out your packing list according to a specific time standard, which if I remember correctly, is like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And you also have to lay everything out in a specific order and in a specific way, or else you'll get ding points. And if you get dinged too many points, they'll just kick you out right there. For example, I had a guy in my class that I'll never forget. He got in about 10 minutes after me, did his layout, and he didn't have his plastic Ziploc bag that was on the packing list that I think was to hold your ID card. And they just dropped him right there. They told him to pack up his shit and get out of here. Just because he didn't have a plastic Ziploc bag. So make sure you have all your stuff for that packing list. Very serious. Make sure you practice the layout until you are completely confident that you can perform the layout to standard and have no issues. After the first phase of air assault school, you'll move on to phase 2, which is sling load operations. And this is you're just going to be doing hands-on sling load for the entire time during the phase. I want to say it's a good 2 to 3, maybe 4 days of sling load operations. It's a pretty good bulk of the course. They're going to give you plenty of time to get hands-on. The instructors are going to go around and help you with all the sling load operations that you need to learn. And they'll even give you like a good 2 or 3 additional hours after the course timeline to give you additional instruction if you so desire. And I definitely think that you should stay there for the time. Even if you feel completely confident with sling load operations, stay there for the good few hours and put in that extra work just to make sure you're good during test day, because the last thing you want to do is get dropped for sling load. I want to say about 60% of our course drops in my class happened during sling load. So that was very serious. And it was mostly guys that just didn't stay for the additional training. Just make sure you stay for the additional training. Keep your confidence level up. Make sure you know what you're doing. And when it comes down to the test, just do what you've learned. Okay, don't stress too much about it. Once you're done with the sling load phase, you'll move on to phase 3, which is rappelling. And this phase really isn't bad. This is kind of like the fun part of air assault school. So all you'll do is you'll rappel down some towers. You'll rappel out of a UH-60. And phase 3 culminates with the 12-mile road march that you have to complete the standard 35-pound ruck dry with combat equipment. And it's 12 miles in 3 hours, okay? And the fastest person gets the Tomahawk Award, the one I showed you before, and it's just an additional little thing to take home after you earn your air assault wings. So that's pretty much air assault school in a nutshell. A few more extra tidbit tips that I want to throw at you. Understand that the entire time at the school is going to be, they're going to be putting you in harsh conditions to make it hard for you to learn, because they want to test your ability to pay attention, test your ability to go home and take this shit seriously, and test your ability to come back with that retained information and test out. You're going to be getting smoked like on the hour, every hour for really no reason. So while you're going through the school, just try to embrace the suck, man. Don't overthink things. You know, it's kind of like basic training where the guys are just going to come up, the instructors are just going to come up with reasons on why you're getting smoked. But a lot of times that reason is just sort of made up. It's just something that's put into the training deliberately, okay? So just take the smoking as some PT during the day. It's not a big deal. Don't get stressed out about it. Don't like blame everybody for why everybody's getting smoked. Don't be that guy. Just do it. You know, maybe crack a joke, make people laugh. Not a big deal. Take every test seriously. Every test that they give you is failable, okay? So make sure you study extra hard for all the written exams. Make sure you stay during the extra time for sling load operations. And make sure you're prepared for that air assault layout. The layout and the packing list is very serious. A lot of people get dropped for that. So there are videos on YouTube that show you how to do the layout to standard. Make sure you're practicing it at home before you even show up to air assault school. Now, a lot of people say that air assault school isn't really relevant anymore, that you really don't learn any useful skills during the school, that it's just a badge producing school. I think that's kind of bullshit. I think you can learn something from any school that you go to, period. And I think the really good things that you get out of air assault school is, one, you learn more about attention to detail and how important it can be. You just become a better soldier as a whole when you have more focus on attention to detail. 2, you really do get a lot of exposure to helicopter nomenclature, what their capabilities are. You get a better understanding of what kind of things you can sling load as far as when it comes down to supply and logistical issues. You get more exposure to that as a soldier. So that's a great thing, and it helps out leaders when it's time to actually conduct logistical operations. And then 3, it really is a badge producing school, which is a good thing. All right, all you guys out there in the Army know the importance of skill identifiers and having as much as you can possibly get on your SRB. Having air assault is just one of those basic skills that's actually looked very highly upon when it comes down to promotions or getting picked up for additional schooling or job positions. I mean, it's one of those things you can go knock out in less than 2 weeks, and it just makes you that much more marketable throughout the force as a whole. So don't come up with any excuses not to go to air assault school. I challenge you to come up with excuses to go to air assault school. Take what I've said seriously. Go out there, take the school seriously, knock it out, and get yourself a badge. There's nothing wrong with that. Be proud of your accomplishment, and once you're done with air assault school, move on to the next challenge. Okay, well, that's pretty much it. I'm sure I might have missed a few things here and there. If you guys have any other questions, just drop in the comments. If you have any other input for anybody, drop it in the comments, man. I want this to be a good informational tool for guys that are looking to go on air assault school, so let's make it that way. Again, as always, I challenge you to do your best. I challenge you to go out there and seek this additional training. And I challenge you to stay motivated and motivate others during the process. Besides that, don't forget, again, to like and subscribe. And that's all I got. I'll see you on the next one.